This is your brother, the indescribable 1981. Another video, y'all. Much love to my sister, Lisa Cabrera. Lisa Cabrera, she's on YouTube. She does a lot of the news reports and online news stories and documentaries. Lisa Cabrera. She's a channel that I usually look at, usually for upcoming news, and she has a lot of good insight or whatnot. But Lisa Cabrera, YouTube channel. My sister said it all. She said that the real reason Putin brings out the fact that Christ is black is because Putin is trying to save the Russian people, his people, by following the true sources, the true creator, the darker Moors, the Most Highs, and he's trying to save his people. That make a lot of sense. Now, you know in the Bible when Christ talked to the Samaritan woman at the well, she was saying that they say, oh, salvation is going to be by the Jews. And then they was like, oh, well, you got to worship in spirit and truth. Okay, worshiping in spirit and truth is the way to please the Most High. Yet, the original started from the darker, which is what Russia is trying to show people. You may not want to acknowledge the darker race that was here first, but as far as me, as my people, and the Russian people, we know salvation is with these darker race people. So, if y'all don't want to jump on board and save yourself, the Russian people, we already know we're going to jump on board and acknowledge these true darker beings, the darker people, who are the original saints and Most Highs. You feel me? So, Putin want to save his people. Lisa Cabrera, she was right on that. I didn't even look at it that way. I looked at it as, you know, they're acknowledging who's who. You know what I mean? But it's just the fact that they, the only ones who doing it is the Russians. Fuck the other countries and the Hispanics and all that dumbass shit, because they don't acknowledge stuff. At least Russia, Vladimir Putin, they know who he is. They trying to save their people. That's why Vladimir don't give a fuck. He be looking at them laughing on the news. They be talking shit. The Russian president be... and he born October just like me. I'm on the 2nd. He on number 7. Vladimir Putin. Think that Russian president crazy? He ain't crazy. He know who to worship. He worshiping the darker Madonna, holding the black Christ, and they mad now because he finna save his people. He know what he doing, and Putin laughing like these dumb bitches. They don't know. They don't want to acknowledge, black people. Look here, Vladimir Putin laughing at their ass. At least he acknowledging. If I know you great, I acknowledge you on that. If you ain't shit, I'm going to acknowledge you ain't shit. So Putin trying to save his people, telling them who to worship, that darker race. I don't see no Arabs, I don't see no Hispanics, I don't see no other race acknowledging who he is. I see Putin doing it. Because Putin know he finna save his race and his bloodline by worshiping the darker race. Not us specifically, but the fact that the darker original ones was the Most High children that came to earth and established the Moorish Empire, teaching all nationalities. You feel me? Long as everybody in line with nature. Vladimir Putin know who to go to save his people. No other race out here asking for forgiveness or trying to do right by the darker people who was here first, the original ones. We have love. We Moors. So Vladimir Putin, he know where to love, and he know it started with the Moors, right? He know it. You feel me? So shout out to my sister on the Lisa Cabrera channel. I'm gonna go ahead and upload that video that I came across today with her. I always give credit where credit is due, and the main credit that I give is to the Most High Mother, Father, and Holy Spirit for guiding and directing and, you know, filling us in with the same exact intelligence or information that's coming in through the earth now, since Holy Spirit's so heavy present on the earth now. You know, it's a lot of people out here don't want to acknowledge the truth. Vladimir Putin is acknowledging the truth. Because he's acknowledging the truth, other people think that he's crazy or he's this or he's that. But Lisa Cabrera, my dear sister, she's right. Vladimir Putin is showing who to worship and who to answer to as far as the Most High's people is concerned. And Vladimir Putin doing it in a way that he can save all of his Russian people and all of the Russian people that's listening to Vladimir Putin that didn't partake in the slavery. Because, see, Vladimir Putin is part of one of those nations, too, that's supposed to get destroyed. But that show you how the Most Highs work at will. If it's a nation that's not original and they want to be grafted into the royal family or be in new heavens and new earth or be in the royal courts, as an elder told me once, guess what? They'll be able to do so by acknowledging the true ones, acknowledging the Most Highs, and jumping on board with the ones that's been mistreated, the cornerstone that's been rejected, the darker race of people that's been through the most, the righteous ones. Because some of our own people gonna go too. Vladimir Putin know who to jump on board with to save his people. He knows salvation is with these people. So I'm finna go ahead and do this for my people and for my race. While everybody else laughing at Vladimir Putin. Other nationalities laughing at Vladimir Putin. Hispanics laughing at Vladimir Putin. You feel me? You know what I mean? Chinese laughing at Vladimir Putin. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? Arabs laughing at Vladimir Putin. The Hindu, the Indians, they laughing at Vladimir Putin. You feel me? You got you probably got all types of Europeans and British people laughing at Vladimir Putin. Other countries laughing like he don't know what the fuck he talking about. This man crazy. But this man is the only country, Russia, on planet Earth, telling everybody who him and the Russian people worship. Because Vladimir Putin know that this salvation belongs to the Most High's children. Them darker races that they have on the paintings and stuff in the vault. This is why Vladimir Putin coming out with this. He's showing people, if y'all want to save y'allself and y'all country, jump on board and worship this. Because they the originals. This the original. You feel me? And they were darker. They were Moorish. They were darker colored. So she was right about that. That's the real reason Vladimir Putin brought out the fact that Christ is black and this and that. Because he was establishing the fact and proclaiming that, you know, as far as me and my Russian people, this what we on board with, because this way salvation at. All them other races that ain't acknowledging shit and they laughing, guess what? The story in the Bible where Christ healed the 10 people that had leprosy. But 1 out of the 10 came back and gave thanks and appreciated Christ for that. That's what Vladimir Putin represents to me. All the other countries on the earth, all the other nationalities, they know who we are. They see. But they ain't gonna acknowledge because a lot of them benefiting from. Right. Putin ain't benefiting from that. No slave, none of that. Putin know the truth. Putin them also know that they're not a part of the royal family. They're not a part of the Moorish DNA bloodline. Putin know Russia was established by the Moors, those righteous children of the Most Highs, covered up. Putin know this. And since Putin know this, you know what? Putin know who to jump on board with for his salvation. I'm sure Putin asking for forgiveness. The other Russians and stuff that's on Putin's side asking for forgiveness. A lot of them asking for forgiveness. And they doing right by the chosen people, the true chosen people. And because Vladimir Putin doing that, Vladimir Putin is doing what other races should be doing, but they're not doing. Who wants to acknowledge who we truly are in this country? Who wants to really acknowledge that? Most people not, because they're going to be quiet, that they don't get canceled, they don't lose their money, they don't lose their life savings. That's why this world here is their kingdom. It's not the heavenly kingdom, but this world here is their kingdom. Because look what they allow, look what they accept. Look who supports who. But out of the whole entire earth, the only ones that called on the name of the Most High, the children of the Most High, Vladimir Putin from Russia, one of the world powers. Russia, Vladimir Putin, showing you that his Russian people gonna be on the side of salvation, calling upon the Most Highs. And he trying to save his nations, because Russia know who's who. Here we are, some of our own people, they don't believe it. They still believe it's a so-called white Christ. So some of them gonna be stuck and they gonna lose out. Then you got the ones that knew all along who we were, but they ain't gonna say nothing because it's gonna mess up their supremacy status, or they being likable by others who are part of the same shit that they own. And all along, ain't but one small percentage of people on earth acknowledging who we truly are. Vladimir Putin. He don't care about the criticism, who laugh, who cry. He don't care about who get upset. He don't care about who pushed the message. All he know for him and his Russian people, shit, they know the darker race of people. They know who the originals is. That's all that matter. Putin know who to jump on board with. You feel me? He jumping on board with the true Christ. And the people, which is the Christ body. He jumping on board with that. So Lisa Cabrera, I thank you, my dear sister, for that. Even though you may not never come across me or know who I am or whatever, but just know, I post up unknowingly channels of my other people. I always mention their names and mention the channel so you can go to it and check it out yourself. I ain't gonna sit up here like I got all the knowledge in the world, because I'm looking at thousands of channels then jumping online and regurgitating some shit. I usually regurgitate whatever I usually bring up or speak on, anything that the Holy Spirit usually pass through my hands. You know what I'm saying? If Holy Spirit acknowledge me or let me know something and I pick up on it, I'm pretty sure other people picking up on that Holy Spirit message too. And then if I pick up on it and I got a way to translate it to how it's fully being picked up in my own way, that can help another person draw closer to Holy Spirit and the Most High Mother Father, that's what I do. Other than that, if somebody has a gift or prophecy, and let's just say the stuff that they see and hear in the unseen realms really does come true, and it's first hand, they didn't receive it or nothing like that from no other person, but they received it from the spiritual realm. However, I acknowledge that, and I'm pretty sure that those who know to whom the credit is due, you're going to acknowledge something that you learned. If somebody taught me something, I'm going to acknowledge who I learned it from. And then, I may give the name of the person just to let you know, like, this ain't coming from me. I've got this from an elder, somebody who's a little older, who received it from the spiritual world. That's what I truly believe in. I'm not going to speak on something I never experienced or been through. But if I've been through something and experienced something, 9 times out of 10, if you don't tell people, they won't never know. Yet, if you run into those type of people out there that's rare, who can pick up on who you truly are just by looking in your eyes, or, listening to you speak, or, Holy Spirit reveals to them at the moment that they see you and you walking down the street and they got a signal or something and the ears start to ring, then they start to realize, okay, this little man here talking on YouTube coming with some knowledge, some truth, some deep stuff. And it's simple stuff that sound like a child could talk about. Yet at the same time, it's so simple that people are making it real difficult, because it's simple and easy to talk, but it's difficult to put what you know into action, because some people might feel like either they not ready, or they just don't want to feel like they rushing ahead, changing themselves, and they leaving behind family, friends, and relatives, because the change that they about to go through of something that they acknowledging is going to leave them stuck behind. But I can tell you this: if Vladimir Putin acknowledge who we are, and him and his people going to focus on their salvation, and the whole world laughing at him, calling him all type of names, and he's sitting there laughing and giggling at him like These fools don't know what they got in store coming for their ass. You know what I'm saying? Vladimir Putin got every right to do what he do. You know? He's trying to save his people, and his people, through Vladimir Putin, is acknowledging who the true original beings are. Now, a lot of people may not want to jump on board with Putin and think he's crazy, but guess what? To Putin, that don't matter. Thank you, Lisa Cabrera. That was a heavenly insight. Something so simple, I would have overlooked that. The fact that he's trying to save his people. You know, like I said it in a different way. I was like, if Putin acknowledging who we are, then that's why Putin and Russia, you know, ain't nothing really bad happening over there right about now. You know what I'm saying? Because they was a nation that probably was finna get destroyed off into destruction. But if the leader turned to the Most High's creator, the source of their life, and they go back and see the truth and everything they bringing out the vault, then they know, man, let's focus back on these original beings that brought the Most High and religion to us. And let's go from there. And let's work with the people. Let's work with their children that's here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Vladimir Putin did. And you know, he sent a little help or whatever over there to Africa. You know, he basically trying to pay his debts and kind of like ask for forgiveness, you know. So Putin know what he doing. He trying to save his people and the bloodline of some of his people. Turning to the righteous, the true ones that brought religion and spirituality to the earth. You know what I mean? So I know this almost a 20-minute video. I just thought this was a topic I had to speak on because I can see a lot of people in the world that's not spiritually in tune. They looking at situations like they can explain it, but a lot of them don't have the spiritual eye to explain the situation that they in. All they know, they just going through some shit. Politicians, voting season, you know, sports, celebrities. America this and that, China this and that, Putin this and that, and Russia this and that. And all along, none of them focusing on their heart, how they treat others, things that they're doing in their life to make them a better person as well as others, enriching others' lives. But they focus on all the negative shit that ain't important. It's no wonder they say in the end, the righteous children get the last laugh, because we look like we was defeated at one time. We look like we was being stubborn and we're not going to change, and what we following is going to kill us eventually. We looked like the ones that was suffering defeat, like we could never overcome. We looked like the ones dressing up in turbans and putting on the righteous gear, like we ignorant, robotic slaves in a uniform. Actually, it was the unseen creator, that which we come from, which is the reason we live and dress and move the way we move. So it's like the stuff that people was laughing at and we would get picked on as if we was, you know, living an old stupid ass life with no fake power and Jesus is coming back and Christ and this and that. Come on, man. You know, all along, we get the last laugh in the end. That's why the Bible tell you the one that endure to the end is the one that'll be saved. Right? Look how much we had to endure. You had people had to endure slavery. They had to endure ridicule. They had to endure slander. We had to endure being picked on, men, women, and children. A lot of us had to endure bloodline trauma where we're born into this world, and we might have fear issues and stuff from past lives of being in fear. So a lot of stuff starting to catch up, and a lot of karma is starting to play out right now. And that's why it's so important nowadays. If you smart like Putin is, Putin jumping on board trying to clear that karma up and ask for forgiveness so Putin and his people could be spared. Because Putin done saw some shit over these past 5, 6, 7 years. He been in power. Putin done saw some shit. I saw old videos of certain people, Russians that was, you know, spilling the beans on certain information, and they took the Russians out. Naughty Beaver channel. Naughty Beaver channel with Kalai Maya Amara. I saw a lot of this. You know, where it was Putin was going through a time some years back, man, with these creatures on Earth that's here by the Most Highs to do damage, you feel me? And to see Putin go through that people don't know about, because people, they don't be on deep stuff like that, it's almost like they laughing because of the shit that's happening. But they didn't see what Putin done saw and what Putin done heard and been places Putin done been. Putin knows something about this whole entire planet and the original beings that brought spirituality here. You feel me? That's how Putin learned his religion. You know what I mean? Some type of spirituality, some type of beings that came and taught them and showed them the way. Yeah, so you know. It's a little video going over a little over 20 minutes, but you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But once again, shout out to my sister Lisa Cabrera. She know the true reason. Putin jumping on board and bringing out the fact that the true Christ beings was darker skinned. Because Putin already been jumping on board worshiping the darker skin, the darker race, the Elohim. And by Putin doing that, he actually kind of like saving and sparing his bloodline. Because ain't too many people gonna make it, you know what I mean? Putin know this. Even Putin know it's gonna be a chosen few. So you know that man smart. He already know. All right, I love y'all.